And welcome, race fans, to another episode here with 191 Motorsports. Tonight we'll be tackling Dover Motorsports Speedways here live on CRN, and they're going to be out here for 125 laps, which can go really quickly or real painfully. There's definitely a soup bowl here, concrete surface that will wear and tear your tires apart. And so it's a big challenge for all drivers to come here. One of my personal favorite tracks is obviously you got the monster down there alongside there, but it's definitely it was, I guess, a small place in my heart because it was the first race I was to. It was with I went with my dad, my uncle, and a friend of mine. And my uncle's no longer with us, nor is my uncle's friend, but my dad's still around, so we get the chance to just kind of live those memories here through Dover International Speedway. But it's gonna be a good one here. 125 laps on tap here, like we said. Carl's running just a little bit behind, so he should join us a little bit later, hopefully. And then we will lift now. We will continue to give live broadcasts here of a full 125 laps at Dover. So we'll quickly go down and see how everybody's doing. They get 5 minutes to put in a qualifying lap here at the Monster Mile. So we'll see how those drivers are doing right now. We'll go ahead and bring up the tower, and we'll bring up, see if we can close that, and we'll get their, see, best time here. So you see how fast they're actually getting around here. 22 seconds a lap, and that's a pretty blistering speed. You think about it, going 1 mile. So got some good banking on these corners, which allows them cars to really turn that speed. But you got to really be tricky coming out of some of them corners. Turns 2 and 4 can definitely cause some issues. 4 tends to be a little more pushy than 2, but 2 usually a lot of drivers they'll get loose coming out of the corner, and 4 they usually get up into the wall. So we'll see if those drivers can tackle those issues as well. And another thing comes down to play is if they can keep it green and clean tonight, can they gonna get that green flag pit stop in, because that can be also challenging. So right now we got 11 of the 15 drivers with times in right now, and you can see everybody kind of getting in that 22 range. I see Bierman down there with the 26, maybe a little bit of trouble, maybe damaged a car on the first lap, or what, maybe he's still getting out there. But right now I got Foster Yates down there. We'll see how much time we have remaining here for qualifying. We have 30 seconds for four drivers to get some times in, and then we'll go down a list here tonight. Yeah, I mean, give a shout out to everybody that's out there. We know it's a obviously the weekend before the holiday weekend. Obviously going to be a busy one here for some people. Maybe some people going out of town for the week, since 4th of July is on a Friday. That's a good time for a lot of things to happen. I know a lot of the leagues that we've been broadcasting are, whether they're taking the week off or whatever it may be. So definitely a busy week there out there for everybody. But hey, why not get some great racing here on Iracing with some of your favorite drivers here with 191 Motorsports here on a good old Sunday night. So 15 drivers out there. The times are in. So we'll go ahead and we will show you that running order. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn them off because who knows what the drivers will say. I was actually racing this weekend at Watkins Glen. And that was going very well until I got in the car. We were running P1, P2 for about the first 4 hours, and then I got out there and GTP on my outside, and I didn't want to hit them, so I lifted on the gas. Well, that took the downforce off the rear tires, spun the car around. Somehow I got a 2X. If anybody's an iRacer out there, I got a 2X. Rear-ended the car into the wall. Blew the motor, broke the back end, whatever. 46-minute meatball with a 3-minute optional repair. So, like I told the guys, I'm submitting a ticket in because I don't think I should have got them 3 minutes optional. But it definitely was a lot of fun going out there and visit the Watkins Glen. But we're gonna have some fun here tonight, and we will go down the starting order here real quick before they get going. So qualifying, we'll show you the running order here. On the pole here tonight, it's going to be Justin Spengler with a 22.349 over Paul Helms on the outside. Then Mike Casey sitting there on row number 2 with Timothy Ivey. Jason Crispin on P number 5 with Douglas Ivy on the outside. Dale Garner Jr. on row number 4 with Scott Henderson. Wade Enyart back there on row number 5 with Foster Yates on the outside. Bradley Worley on row number 6 with Zane Bierman on the outside and P number 12. Kevin Winkler in starting that 6th row on the inside with Matthew Jordan on the outside and Richard Hartman the 3rd in that 15th spot. So 15 cars here for tonight. It's going to be a good one. I think a 15-car field here is not going to be a bad showing at all. It's definitely a very fun track here. We'll go ahead and start getting some of these. I'm doing 2 jobs at once here tonight without my partner at the moment, so we'll go ahead and get this up here. But we're getting ready to go to green. Lights are off on the pace car, and we are going to see some high-speed fun here at Dover. Get a little better view. Back it up just for everybody to see. We'll get a little closer view of a lot of them paints. I see a lot of them liveries have changed. Well, some changed. Out there, I know the number 23, a nice light blue color car is definitely changed for sure. So, but we're gonna get down and start. The pace car is in. They're coming down to the restart zone, getting on that loud pedal here early as the number 28 of Justin Spangler heads down the front stretch, down into turn number 1, leading the number 6 of Michael Casey as Michael Casey jumps up there. Gonna have it looks like Paul Helms following back on the outside, but probably just trying to keep it clean. These drivers probably want to get things started, keep things going, put on a great race here. Right now they are pretty much single file. We'll move back here, down on the inside. That's a dangerous move. Can he hold on to it? He bounces off the wall. To the 85 of Douglas Ivy, trying to get down there, brave that apron, but you see right behind him, 3 wide there with the number 42 of Kevin Winkler. So maybe just slowing up, seeing things kind of going crazy in front of them, but things are clean and green so far. Well, at least green. But we'll go back up front here, and it is a battle for the lead here with Justin Spangler as Michael Casey dives down to the inside, pushing the number 28 to the outside. And you're going to have Jason Crispin and the number 98 follow him as well. 15 of Timothy Ivy trying to pull in up there to Pete at number 3 as well. There's one thing about this track, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is on lap 3 and it is concrete. If these drivers drive these tires too hard, they will have none left in a quick, short, about 15 to 20 laps. The tires will be overheated, no grip in the front, and you'll see some of these drivers maybe sitting back just a little bit, kind of move to the front. So is Michael Casey pushing the car too hard, or is he saving? We will find out as this race progresses. We're on lap number 5 of 125 of Michael Casey out front with Jason Crispin and Timothy Ivy, Justin Spangler and Paul Helms for your top 5. Let's see, I need to move this here a little bit. Don't be afraid to put out a shout out in the chat there in over our YouTube. Who your favorite driver is? Who would you like to see to win tonight? It's definitely going to be a tough one here at this 1 mile monster. Give a shout out to Lucas Petit, Ender Jess, Renee Henderson, and Crazy is out there as well. There's not Matthew Jordan. He messaged me earlier and he said my trading paints wasn't showing his paint. So please refresh. I want to make sure you got that nice blue paint in there. Definitely I love that color blue. That's one of my favorite colors, blues out there. But there's the Robbie Concrete LLC. So definitely maybe repping somebody's local concrete business. Definitely a tough job. Something that got very little experience with, as my dad definitely did show me growing up how to do that stuff, but not something I chose to do as a living. But Michael Casey still leading over Justin Crispin. There's a battle up here at 15 of Timothy Ivy, really trying to push that issue, looking for P number 2. So 15 looking strong here early on, getting underneath the 98 of Crispin. Crispin battling on the outside. Timothy letting up just a little bit, making sure that the car doesn't get up into the 98. So good heads up driving by the 15. Just gotta get that car to stick so he can get that power down in order to make the move for P number 2. But he's gonna fall back into P number 3 as Justin Spangler in at number 28, and now looks to the inside of the 15 but not quite able to get under there. So, but he looks like Paul Helms back there in the 64 looking to the outside. Now this track here, depending on your tire wear, is almost where you want to drive the car. Normally when the drivers get out there, they got fresh tires. You see a lot of low lines, but as the tires start to wear down, you see the drivers start moving up the track. That way to try not to grind them tires down too much in order to continue a good flow around here. But right now, doing a great job. It's been green since the drop. Michael Casey is out front over Jason Crispin and Timothy Ivey for your top three, and there's been a battle between second between these three drivers for a little bit now. But we're going to move back all the way back to P9 with Zane Bierman in the number 5 as he goes to the underside of Douglas Ivey. And in that Camel car there, Foster Yates and number 79 is able to make it by Douglas as well. Definitely some good racing going on throughout the track, even all the way back in that 14th spot. You see some good racing here with Matthew Jordan, Scott Henderson, and Richard Hartman. So just because they're in the back of the pack doesn't mean there isn't great racing between these drivers. They definitely take their time, and everybody learns the track at their own pace. The more lap times you get, the better you get. Ooh, and get a Hartman down on the wall. Nice heavy hit there, but able to keep it going. You've seen Hartman take the inside wall there pretty hard, but is able to continue to go straight. So don't know how much damage is in that car. I'm sure it's not feeling too healthy, as it did hit pretty hard. But again, still keeping it going here. Maybe hoping for a caution, but there's no caution looking to be had so far right now. Casey is starting to check out just a little bit, only by a second, so not too much, as Jason Crispin is back there as well. Timothy Ivey and Justin Spengler have pretty much fallen in line as well. So kind of, maybe at that point of the race where they're just we're gonna ride. We're gonna get back in the groove. We're gonna keep it moving, and we're gonna ride. We're gonna keep this thing green, keep it clean, and see if we can stretch it out. But you don't want to lose your competitors, so you don't want to overdrive your car. You want to keep things clean, keep hitting your marks, and keep that car going forward, because you never know what's going to happen. Maybe some of these drivers who practice that pit stop more than others will find themselves gaining position in the pits before they get back out on the track. So that's a big part of racing. I tend to pick on it quite often, as a lot of races are lost in the pits. So definitely a big part of oval racing. We'll go back here again with Matthew Jordan, as he is putting the pressure on Scott Henderson, trying to get that number 23 around the 72. Got up to the number 28 of Justin Spengler up there now, and P number 4. Just hanging in there. He's running that nice mid line there. It's a good safe line. To me, because them cars, definitely as they exit the corner, like to get out to that outside. So you can keep that car down medium area. Definitely a safe route. He's able to keep Timothy Ivey in tow there. Biggest mover of the race so far, though, is the number 88 of Bradley Worley, running number 88 Bud Machine. It's up 5 spots. And we'll go back to P number 8 with Zane Bierman. He is up 4 positions, up now into P number 8. Seen some pretty good races from Zane over the past few weeks. His start today, maybe not as good as he wanted, so maybe he just had a bad qualifying, and then found himself now having to work his way up through the field. So we'll see where the number 5 ends by the end of the night here, as we keep working around. Almost that first 25 laps in the books right now. Ooh, and the 88 getting a little wide there as Worley touched the wall. Looks to have everything under control at the moment, though. I give you guys some pretty cool camera views here. Oh, I know what I'm missing. I need, so you can see where everybody's at. Track map. Need those Skittles in that top right corner there. You can see where your favorite driver's at. Numbers are the numbers on the car. The 31 looking at underneath the 88. Not able to quite get it in there. He dives down in there, but he can't get the exit. The exit speed is what's missing there from that low line at the moment. You see the 88 just pull away, and now you look at the 31, the 5 of Zane Bierman going high, and he used all that momentum to get around the 31 on the outside. So Highline taking priority here tonight. That's a few passes we've seen on the outside. So something to watch when it comes to towards the end of this race. Who's gonna be brave enough to go up near that wall and get that high line to get that most momentum going. We'll go back up front here, but let's see. Casey is out front just a little bit. He's out there almost a second, not quite a full second. He can hop on top of the number 98 of Jason Crispin. You can still see Casey. Definitely give himself enough room in case Casey decides to hit the wall. I'm sure maybe trying to save tires just a little bit. You can see Casey now going to have to deal with some lap traffic. And I know a lot of times, as a leader on ovals, usually the lap cars don't move out of the way very easily because they don't want to get lapped right away. But the 52 of Richard Hartman definitely stays down at the bottom there and allows a lot of them drivers to go by all the way back to the fourth place of Justice Spangler, was able to make it by there. So definitely struggling just a little bit, but it's a pretty tough track here. The tires do go pretty quickly, and right now we're 28 laps in. So usually after about 20, them tires are really starting to be very heated up. They're starting to get greasy. The car is going to start to push in the corner. You'll see a lot of them probably drift up higher than they want to. See that 85 trying to get the inside going. Must have new tires. Yep, the 85 of Douglas Ivy definitely was in the pits, got them new tires. So you can see how new tires are able to drive around here. So Douglas Ivy trying to get his laps back as he went laps down. We'll go ahead and we'll show car number, and we'll show the gap so you can see where everybody's at. Yeah, so Douglas Ivy is 3 laps down, so you're not going to go just 1 lap down here under pitting under green. You're going to go a couple. So, but the 85 gets one of those laps back as he is on them fresh tires, and they are still green here. We are lap number 30 of 125, so this thing is clicking away faster than probably sometimes I can count. Not too bad though. Still have good lap times here, even on used tires. Right there, Douglas Ivy ran a 23.2, and all the other drivers, all the leaders are running 24.2, so a whole second faster on some newer tires out there. And the best lap times are actually 22.8, so there is a big steep drop off with tires. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have unlimited sets, or maybe they have like 4 or 5. Let me look here real quick. See if it says. Oh, they got 6 sets of tires. So it looks like my co-host Flight just finally landed, so we should be hearing from him as he is probably setting up.
I feel like, maybe Miles the Monster was that baggage claim. It was tough getting my baggage from the airport here flying into Dover. I don't know why, I'm up here in, eastern Pennsylvania. I just drove down here, but, sometimes you try and take the easy way out. It doesn't work. But here at the beautiful Monster Mile, and this is I know Dover's the track too tough to tame, but this thing it can be a monster sometimes here on the concrete. But looks like these boys are out here putting on a good show already. So yeah, just getting everything set up here. But already 34 laps in here of 125 laps. So I guess bring me up to speed. I mean, is there anything big that I've missed here while I was getting ready?
Nah, pretty much a pretty great race so far. Obviously the pole sitter, it was who was it? It was he fell behind so far. But Michael Casey started in third. He's worked his way to the front to take the lead and is slowly crawling away here from Jason Crispin and Timothy Ivey starting up there in P number 2. I think, it was Zane Bierman. Zane Bierman? Yeah, Zane Bierman. No, Zane Bierman's up 6. Who was it? Anyways,
I'm trying to figure out. I have my numbers
so
here.
I'm looking. Everybody's kind of shifted around, but Richard Hartman having a little bit of troubles in the back, but maybe just newer to Dover. Definitely a tough track for a newer driver as the tires do wear down. But a lot of good racing going on so far. Douglas Ivey got a little bit loose and he decided to pit early, so he's off strategy. But definitely the fast car out on the track right now is he's running 23 9s, and everybody else is running 23 or 24s and almost 24 9s. But right now, yeah, it's Michael Casey, Jason Christman there for second. Timothy Ivey having a great run here in the number 15 up into third. Justin Spengler was he's down 3 spots. So yes, he's 1, 2.
Yeah, according to what I'm seeing, what I'm mathing, it looks like he was the pole sitter out here. But
yeah, it was him. him and Helms.
What I do see and what tends to happen a lot at Dover is it is more of a driver's track, and you can definitely have the ability to break away if you can try and figure out how the lines are and how your car likes to handle, because it's not really necessarily a traditional line here at Dover. A lot of times it's almost a bit of a diamond, at least through 1 and 2. It seems like you enter a little bit low in 1, kind of drift up a little bit, and then kind of diamond it down, and you can almost kind of run the same line off of in through 3 and 4. But you got to be careful coming off these corners. I know we say it and we're probably a broken record, but coming out of these corners, it's still banking on the front and back stretch, but turn 2, turn 4, it can get you, especially turn 4. For some reason, that is just the absolute no-no zone. Getting a little bit too tight, a little bit too loose coming off of turn 4, that wall's going to catch you real quick.
Yeah, the 2 seems to be the corner, for me anyways, where I would usually lose the rear end. As you can see, somebody hit the inside wall, that's the 88. But definitely 2, usually I lose the rear end and spin out, going down the backstretch, and then 4, I would end up just getting tight and smashing off the wall, trying to cross the start-finish line. So definitely how I remember the cars handling here. But these drivers have it down. I mean, I think some of the newer drivers, maybe with a little less experience, are having some of those early issues here after the tires heat up. We're getting some pit stops in here at lap number 42. Maybe some drivers just not satisfied with what their current tire status. Maybe Iracing's yelling at them, saying that their tires are worn. As Iracing, once they hit 40%, will at least let you know that your tires are starting to go, so you don't want to get a meatball and have to come down and change tires. But right now, it's still Mike Casey out front over Timothy Ivey. In P number 2, he was able to get around Jason Crispin, as he had a little bit of troubles there a few laps ago. And Justin Spengler still sitting in P number 4. Paul Helms in P number 5. Zane Bierman is up into 6th. Kevin Winker is in 7th, and Matthew Jordan's in 8th. Dale Garner Jr. is in 9th, and Wade Inyart. I haven't talked much about Wade here tonight, but as that number 21 in 10th place at the moment, started in 9th. So pretty consistent, even run here. Maybe it's not Wade's favorite track, but at least having a solid run out here.
Well, the one thing that's kind of interesting about Dover is because of the banking, especially in the corners, but really it's the straightaway bankings. It's a self-cleaning racetrack, and what that means is most of the time the wrecks will end up sliding their way down the track, and sometimes to the point where, if it's on iRacing cautions, they're not admin cautions. iRacing won't throw the flag if the cars are wrecked, kind of off of the racing line. So it's a track that can certainly see a lot of tore up vehicles. I can see a lot of cars getting involved in incidents, but because it's self-cleaning, sometimes you won't get that caution, and for better or worse, you got to keep it clean. You got to keep the fenders on it, and really, it's that front right. The front right is going to get chewed up a bit, especially again coming off those corners. And if you're not paying attention to it, that front right wears a little bit too much. You're going to find that turn 4 wall. But so far, so good for the boys here in the 191 Motorsports, and it's a good sized field here. It's again, Dover's not a fan for some drivers, and I can understand why. It's a track that can certainly chew up tires, and it's not for the faint of heart. There are kind of 2 different lines you see right here. The 98 of Jason Chrisman running up the track here, and you get a really good launch. You see him running up here on the back of the 15 Timothy Ivy, and there's actually a 4 position here as he's going to make the pass with Ivy coming down into the pits. But so far so good as we are completing 48 laps here. Still got plenty to go.
Yeah, so Ivy coming in. Casey came in the lap before, giving up the lead, and this is kind of some of them drivers that tend to like to save fuel, save them tires, and they stay out. This is the time when they're hoping for a caution. When the leaders go in, and they put them a lap down, they're looking to keep them a lap down if a caution were to come out. So you see, Mike Casey he went a full lap down. So let's go back to Mike Casey right now, and you can see where he's at. He's actually 2 laps down. So a caution now would be detrimental to Casey if something were to happen, as he's trying to get them tires up to temperature as fast as possible in order to start being able to put in some consistent laps. But see, the 88's already doing that, trying to get down to the inside. The exit of pit lane is pretty crazy as Ivy comes out, but Mike Casey on that rear bumper of the 98 of Crispin, and I'm sure Crispin is just kind of loving that. But it's going to be some of these cars are going to want to come in, and you see a lot of people kind of coming down. Oh, it was close there with Crispin. The 88 just having one heck of a time trying to get his laps back, as well as the 88 is 2 laps down as well. So a lot of cars trying to get their laps back, waiting for a lot of these cars to come in, but the last thing they want to do right now is to cause an incident.
Yeah, and the last thing any of those cars that came into the pits want is a caution to come out right now to trap them, a lap or 2 down. You want to get in there, and the short pit really pays off here. You're going to get a lot better lap times coming in there, taking those tires and getting back out there. I mean, close to a second difference right now, which may not seem like much to some tracks, but I mean, 24-second lap times here. If you're down there turning 23-second lap times, that's a big difference. And caution will indeed come out here, and kind of right in the middle of some of the pit stops. This is going to get very interesting. We'll see how everything shakes out, but we'll see what brings this out. But man, I see the 79 pretty tore up down there with Scott Henderson. Not sure if that was the cause or not.
Yeah, Iracing SDK is not yelling at me. Let's see here. Yep, right there. That was it. I found it.
That was pretty amazing. I mean, for how much damage and how much was ripped off of the front end of that 79, it wasn't that hard of a hit. And it just goes to show you, any little mistake here is just going to really punish you. But good looking 79 right there, and sliding a little bit coming out of the corner. And normally it's the outside wall that you got to watch out for out of turn 4. But you see him get down the apron there a little bit, tries to save it, but I think he's seen a couple cars coming up on his outside and tried to really keep it down there. And that last correction put him hard into the inside wall, and that is certainly going to be a tore up front end for the 79. Going to have to use a fast repair, but it's going to give a big break to those that did not come into the pits, and that's your top 8 coming in here.
Yeah, so everybody else is going to come in. Maybe somebody that's was in just recently might stay out. Maybe Mike Casey or Ivy, trying to get them laps back as well. Just trying to get things kind of done here. Well, on lap 56 of 125, so they went quite a ways here before anything major happened. And obviously there was it was Hartman a little bit earlier. He's now out of the race, but he had some trouble, hit that wall, but kept it below the yellow line, so Iracing didn't call the flag. So, and then he was able to try to kind of drive it back out up to speed and keep it going. So But everything's been great here so far. It's a good night here. Obviously a little bit lighter field, but like I was telling the fans out there, you know, holiday weekend coming up here, and obviously some people may be extending, maybe taking a, you know, starting their holiday a little bit early and kind of getting out there, as the 4th of July will be on Friday. And I know that a lot of the leagues are taking most of this week off. So I think it's Monday. Tonight was 191, and I think everybody else has put everything on hold for CRN. So we probably won't be back until next weekend. But if so, if my schedule dings me and says I need to be somewhere, I guess I'll be there. But definitely a lot of fun here, watching the 191 crew come out here and put on a great race in these Gen 6 cars.
Yeah, and maybe that, you know, could be the case too with these Gen 6 cars, a little bit older cars here on the service. So they kind of had the original damage model, and maybe that's why they tore up so quickly. But either way, it's going to be Kevin Winker on the pole here for the restart. Matthew Jordan, Jason Chrisman, Justin Spengler, and Zane Bierman for your top 5. And Dale Garner, Paul Helms, Wade Enyart for your top 8, and the ones on the lead lap. Then you got Michael Casey, Timothy Ivey, and Bradley Worley. I'm sorry, Timothy Ivey for your top 10, Bradley Worley, Douglas Ivey, Foster Yates, Scott Henderson, and Richard Hartman for your 15-car field.
Yeah, I don't know if I was Winker or Jordan if I would have stayed out, to be honest. They haven't been in the pits yet. Everybody's on them newer tires. You know, 55 lap newer tires, and then all them drivers behind them. So these drivers behind.
I mean, you can try anything once, Jimmy. And I say it's the right thing, but you can try anything once.
Well, I'll be a little scared.
We're about to find out.
But it definitely, it's something that the drivers behind them are gonna have to kind of pay attention to, because they're probably not gonna get the launch. They're probably not gonna, they're gonna be in the way. So do they, start and then quick dip down and get new tires? I mean, if they can go another 55 laps, you're looking at 110. I don't know if some of these drivers might be able to go, the whole way. So, we'll see. We're closing in that halfway mark. We're at probably around this 63 mark. We'll hit halfway. So definitely looking forward to see what decisions that number 42 and 23 are going to make as they near these next coming laps.
I want to thank everyone for checking in here with us tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we do have the holiday coming up this week, and certainly enjoy it. Have fun out there, and we'll see you on the flip side. But we're going to see potentially a lot of you on the flip side, as the leagues are going to be starting back up here. We got some coming back from summer break, so we're going to be quite busy here at CRN. So if you like racing, this is where you want to be. But right now, I'd say the 42 is where he wants to be right now, as long as he gets a good restart. Looks like he does. Little bit of a bobble there on the outside from Matthew Jordan, the 23, but either way, they will make it to turn at number 1, and I'm sure they're going to be the hunted very, very quickly here, as already Matthew Jordan falling back to 42. Got a good enough restart to hang on now to second, as Jason Chrisman easily makes a pass to get back into the lead.
Yeah, and the other, like I said, the drivers behind them just have to have heads up and make sure that they do not that they're recognizing those cars that decide to stay out there. And you see the 23 already getting passed by the whole field. So 23 up front just for a little bit, able to do about a lap, and now has fallen all the way towards the back here. So we'll see when they decide to pit. We'll keep an eye out on that. We'll go back up to let's see, who's the other one? It was like Worley, right? No, that wasn't Worley. It was the 42, Winker. And he just went 3 wide, just stuck on the outside. So continuing to fall back slowly but surely. There's a have Winker in there in P number 4 at the moment. There's a lot of the lap cars.
Staying out there and not taking tires and taking the lead is one thing, but 3 wide at Dover, that's a whole other thing. I don't think I want to be 3 wide, especially, I don't care if I got tires or not. I don't care if I got the freshest tires of the 2 guys in front of me or on the inside of me. No, thank you. I don't want to be 3 wide here at Dover. But yeah, you see those newer tires certainly paying off for everybody in the field. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for Winker and Jordan, especially if we get a quick caution here and they get in there and get the freshest tires in the field. But if this thing stays green, they're just going to drop further and further back, unfortunately, and this may not play out to their favor. Maybe going for the the idea of cautions breeding cautions to maybe get a quick caution and get them kind of on the upper hand here, but so far not playing out like that. So right now it's Jason Christman in the lead, but certainly Justin Spengler has now got something to say about that as they're side-by-side battling for the lead.
Yeah, I was watching Spengler and Christman battle, and I just seen the fives. Mac had turn number 4, like he wanted that person outside his house. But definitely wasn't a good look there for the 5. Probably took some pretty good damage. And we'll go back there in just a minute, as it does look like Michael Casey now back in P9 with Timothy Ivey. So you have our, those leaders that decided to come in and ended up getting caught under them caution. So I'll show the tower here, and you can see where Casey and Ivey are. They're both 1 lap down. Oh, little touch there from the 15 in the 6. The 5 is going to check up, has to check up just a little bit as the 15 lets up to, so that doesn't become an accident there, but 15 looking to that inside, trying to get around the 6. But right now the 15 and 6 just need to keep their nose clean, because they're definitely find themselves in a pickle. They're back there in 9th and 10th, and we're 1st and 2nd before the caution.
I want to thank our sponsors. I don't know if you had to jump in there, but thank our sponsors here for the season here: Kim's Cups and More, and One Vision EMS and Transports for all their support they do for the league here. Got a pretty good one brewing here, as we are already on lap number 68, so we're past the halfway point now of this 125 lap events, and Jason Christman leads the way. The 28 though of Spengler had the pole. He wants that lead back. He's looking like he's a little bit more racy this run here, and maybe they use the first run to just kind of feel out the car, see what it wanted to do, and now he's kind of chomping at the bit here a little bit, trying to get back to the front.
And that could be the case. Obviously at the start, a lot of times some drivers will, really push the car, or maybe was thinking about that long run, trying to maybe, hopefully they'd go green. And they did. They went green for quite some time before they had their first caution here tonight. And only 1 caution so far. We're already on lap number 70 of 125. That is Jason Christman up front with Justin Spengler. Zane Bierman is sitting back there in P number 3. Even the troubles that we've seen him have, as he did let Michael Casey go by. So Mike Casey's got to work his way through the field. He's got to try to get his lap back the hard way to get back in the lead lap. That would be basically his ultimate. But definitely a fast number 6 here, finding himself all the way back in P number 9. So has some work to do. And has to be patient. Doesn't have a whole lot of time. As 50 laps, it still seems like a pretty decent number, but that time can disappear quick here at Dover. And Timothy Ivey, after running a great race, finds himself a lap down with getting already made that pit stop before that caution. So it's got to be tough break in for the 6 and 15, as they were having a great run. But if they keep their nose clean, something happens, they could find themselves getting back in the lead lap. And right now the 15 is kind of in a bad spot. He's hoping that Casey's fast enough that he can catch the current leaders of Jason Christman and Justin Spengler and get by, so the 15 could then be the lucky dog.
It's kind of an interesting spot. This is the worst we've seen Michael Casey running all season. He was up there with a chance at the win at Daytona for the season opener. Comes into tonight with back-to-back wins, coming at Charlotte last week, and then 2 weeks before that at Las Vegas. So trying to go for the three-peat here tonight. Comes in as the points leader, 20 points ahead of both Worley and Christman. So obviously Christman loving life right now. It's exactly what he wants to see. He's got his car out front. He's got Michael Casey plenty far back there, as you hear the drivers just trying to work their way through this track. It's not easy, and sometimes you got to work that throttle, work that wheel a little bit just to get around Dover.
Yeah, just showing the gyro cams so the fans could actually see the amount of the degrees and them bankings and on the straightaways. It's like I said, it's like a giant soup bowl. I've been here personally a few times, and there's not a bad seat in the whole stadium. Like, you can sit anywhere. You can sit at the top, you can sit at the bottom, you can sit in turn 1, turn 2, you can see the whole race. It's really amazing, and boy does it get loud.
Well, it's kind of fun. We always talk about how our favorite tracks here are Auto Club and Michigan, and they are. When it comes to putting on a virtual race, they're bar none the best tracks that we put on races at. It's just as easy as that. And how about this? The 42 of Kevin Winker was about to go a lap down after he restarted from the last caution on the pole. And he gets, I know it's not a lucky dog, but this is a lucky break, dog, as he was about to go a lap down, and the caution comes out right at the right time for him. And same thing for Matthew Jordan, who's not that far up the road. They'll be able to rejoin the field, come into the pits, and man, what a break for both the 23 and 42.
Yeah, caution came at a great time for a few of those drivers, that's for sure. Just missing out there. So gonna be on the lead lap there. It looks like Mike Casey should get back on the lead lap too. So definitely we'll want to watch out for the 6. As the lucky dog, should have the opportunity to get around and get in the pits. Now, the 15 that Timothy Ivey can get back on the lead lap, but his odds of pitting, are not good. So he's going to have to. Well, he won't be able to pit with the round. He wouldn't be able to pit. The pits be closed for him. So it's the benefit as the waiver round, like the lucky dog here, he can come around and he can pit. That is allowed. But the waiver rounds, they have to stay out until 1 to go, so they don't have time to come in the pits. The pits are closed for them, and they got to really just hope for a quick caution to be able to come into to pit lane and get their service. But certainly a nice little benefit for the guys here up front, as well as the guys that were just about to go a lap down. And now Paul Helms is going to be the one coming out in the lead, as it looks like going for a little different strategy here for the 64. We're going to try and bring in our in-race reporter here. Didn't get a chance to bring him in before the race, but we'll try and bring him in right now, and that is the driver of the 28. Justin, want to wait till you got out of the pits here, bring in and talk to you a little bit about how the race is going so far. Obviously, you put that thing on the pole. It looked like a little bit of a slower run in the first run there, but you got a little bit racy in the second run.
Oh yeah, we're trying to take care of the tires the best that we can. This track is super abrasive, so it really does a number on the tires if you don't take care of them. So stayed in the top 5 there the first part of the race, and let the cars back themselves back up to me as we went further on. And it's just the way that Dover is. It's a really intensive track for tires, and if you take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you in the long run. This is my favorite place to be.
Well, that's what I was going to get into. We give you drivers a chance to pick what track you want to kind of be the in-race reporter. You picked this one, kind of a favorite out there, and you showed it by putting it on the poll. So before we let you go and get back out there and get a chance for this win, and maybe talk to us after the race, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I mean, my biggest supporters should be there in the chat. I got my lovely lady and her daughter, our daughter. They're my biggest fans, and I love them to death. Couldn't be able to do all the things I do without them. The 191 guys, they're a great group of guys. I've been racing with them for years, and you guys putting on an awesome broadcast. Love watching what you guys do, and love being able to put on a good show for those who watch.
Absolutely. We're doing that so far. We'll see if you can close this thing out. We'll let you go back at it, and wish you luck. Hopefully
we stay green. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. That is the driver of the 28, Justin Spengler. We'll get him back up there and let him get a chance to maybe talk to us after this race. And certainly a shout out to the 28 fans out there as we are back to racing. It looks like a little bobble on the outside line there, maybe from Spengler, maybe from the ones behind him getting in the wall just a little bit, but we do have a restart here, and out front big restart there from the 98 of Jason Chrisman. He's going to get out to the lead. The 5 of Zane Bierman slots into second. So the 28 of Spengler's going to have to work around Bierman. Already going to work on him, but just not enough of a run there. But how about the 42? Kevin Winker got some fresh tires. He's no longer running away from the leaders. He's running towards him. He's trying to get back up there and get a lap lead. Maybe the, I don't want to say the hard way, but he certainly made it a little rough on himself getting up here.
Yeah, the thing is, the drivers, obviously, they get grouped up at a time of the race where now they want to try to be in position to possibly get the best finish they can. But if they abuse their tires here early in these first 15 laps, they're going to fall like rocks. It happens every time. I've watched this track way too many times, and the drivers get really confident with the new tires early on. 10, 15 laps, the car's done. The front right's overheated, the rear won't stick. And the next thing you know, you're pushing into the corner. So a lot of these drivers, the ones that are laying back right now, you might see them move to the front of the pack. It is, you know, Jason Chrisman, obviously that fantastic start, now has a nice 2-second lead gap over his competitors of Zane Bierman in second, Justin Spengler in third. But you heard Spengler talk when he was just talking to us. He was just kind of laying back, taking care of his equipment, taking care of his tires. He was on the pole tonight for a reason. So that's why the 28 is back up there again tonight. But keep close eye on somebody that was leading this race for the first half. That's Michael Casey, number 6, back on the lead lap. Has to work his way through the field. So another one of them drivers probably has to abuse his equipment and tires just a little bit in order to make his way to the front.
I mean, you got to make it a little tough. He's trying to go for the 3-peat out here. Can't let him just walk away with every one of these. Got to make it a little tough on Casey out there. But, you know, he's got the speed pretty much anywhere we go. So we'll see if he can make it all the way up there. But battle for the lead, unless it was just a little bit blink out maybe. As, it's definitely getting a little bit closer. I don't think it was an actual battle. Might have just been somebody blinking out. But Zane Bierman has definitely caught up to the back of Jason Chrisman. Whether Chrisman's kind of hanging back here a little bit, trying to save his equipment or not. But both Bierman and Spengler are up there battling. Not sure what happened to Winker. He has definitely slipped back here and is still in fourth, but slipped back about 2 seconds from this battle. As we are clicking these laps away here, and we are now already down to 39 laps to go here, 37 laps to go. So it's really, it goes by quickly. Again, 24, 23 second laps. It's going to go by very quickly if they keep this thing green. And so far, it's been a pretty clean race for everybody out there.
Yeah, pretty clean. And obviously, got a few drivers wishing they were on that lead lap here, starting with Bradley Worley. Bradley Worley 2 laps down. You know, just maybe caught in the caution and, you know, find himself going laps down. So, tough break for the 88, but the first of the lap cars down and making his way through the field. So, got a pretty fast number 88 out there. Just a tough break for for the middle of the run there. Douglas Ivey started off strong towards the front in the top 6 there, top 5, and just had a rough first couple laps. Found himself off a strategy, and now back in the field here, down 4 laps. Scott Henderson, just you know, running from boulders back there with Indiana Jones, and maybe if it just didn't quite find his groove here tonight. Finds himself 6 laps down. You've seen the camel car get off the turn number 4 down to the inside wall there and take some major damage earlier on. He finds himself 7 laps down. Richard Hartman coming out here giving Dover a test on the Monster Mile as they tackled the number 52 here tonight and has put him back down in the hauler. But as of right now, 92 laps in the books, and Jason Chrisman is your leader.
Good to see the Smoking Joe's car got his nose back on there. Certainly, it's nice little throwback with the Camel number 70 there for Foster Gates. But out front, it is still Jason Chrisman. But hold that thought, we've got another caution here.
Oh no!
It's going to tighten everybody back up, and this is going to get interesting. Who's got tires left that they can come in and put on? Who's got? Who wants to? I guess really is the question. I'm not sure. It didn't pop up for me either. But I mean, it's the age-old question. Yeah, it looks like it was thrown. Not sure what the case was here, but it's the age-old question: do you give up track position for tires? It looks like quite a few are coming in to the pits and giving up that track position, and we'll see. I believe Bradley Worley is going to get the lucky dog here. Looks like the 85 Douglas Ivy maybe going to stay out there to get a wave around, as is the 79 Foster Yates, and who's at the back there? Maybe the 72 of Scott Henderson. Also, all these drivers looking to get back a lap here under this late race caution here, as it's starting to get a little bit deeper here in the field. I mean, we're down to was about 31 laps to go here. It's going to be about 30 to go once we get this green flag. Certainly seeing looks like just about everybody taking 4 tires and fuel, hoping this is going to be the last run. But how about that? Spengler beats out Jason Crispin out of the pits. Crew coming in and doing some fine work for the 28.
Yeah, definitely some good work there by the number 28. Front spot always tends to be a little bit of a benefit. You don't you can pretty much, once the car slams down, you can get on the gas. It's pretty hard to speed out of the pits so near the first box. So it's definitely a benefit there. You don't have to be easy with your throttle at all. So definitely a good job there by a 28. But it's going to leave a few cars out there to get some laps back, some more laps back. As a Douglas Ivy is still out there, and the 72 of Scott Henderson will get one of his laps back as well. So and those drivers will get their wave arounds. As the admin's moving everybody. Sorry, I'm trying to catch everything.
We did get a word on what brought out this caution and who was the one that wrecked, and apparently it was race control. Race control spun this one out here with a stray finger and a little fat finger yellow here for this one.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
It happens. I just want to mix it up a little bit. I get he wasn't entertained enough in race control. Maybe wanted to see if he could throw out any more penalties to anybody. But either way, we'll get this thing. Let's see what you guys think about this. And either way, we're under a yellow here, but we're going to get back going here. It's going to be 30 laps to go here. Spengler finally has that 28 back out front. He's the control car for the restart. Jason Crispin on the outside. Kevin Winker, Dale Garner, Michael Casey now up into 5th. So keep an eye on that. Number 6 looking to go for the three-peat. Zane Bierman, Matthew Jordan, Paul Helms, Timothy Ivey, and Wade Enyart for your top 10 cars on the lead lap. The rest are still working to get there, but it's going to be in the hands, in the feet of the 28 here, heading back to the Geico restart zone one more time. And we are back at the lap pedal, and we're going to be right back under caution here. Crispin gets taken out. The 15 spun out as well. And quite a few getting involved in this one. And this is what I was surprised we haven't seen yet, unfortunately. And that is a little bit slippery on these restarts here. Cold tires, new tires. You see the 98, a little bit of a spin of the tires. The 31 gets him up into the wall, and just a little bounce off, and right across the nose of the 31 starts this thing.
Yeah, and there's nowhere for that 23 to go. And the 31 ended up going up into the 64. 15 thought he was clear, but the 31 tags that right bumper. 88 has to check up hard. And a few other drivers just kind of working their way around here. You see the 15 going for a 360 right there in front of the 21. Tough break for the 79. 79 nowhere to go after getting there. 85 tags the back of the 79, meets the 15. I think that was dear old dad giving Tim a turnaround push as the cars continue to get going at least in the right direction. So interesting one here as a caution, fat-fingered caution breeds another caution. A real one. But
yeah, well, exactly. Well, the caution, the finger breeds cautions now, apparently. Either way, certainly Daniel over there in race control, it wasn't intentional, and it's unfortunate for the drivers here that got involved in this one. But I want to send a shout out to everyone out there tuning in. A shout out to Renee, Crazy Razor, Lucas, Ender, Yeah, Daniel, all the fans out there in CRN Nation and then fans here of the 191 Motorsports, as they're putting on a pretty good one here. Just again, I was waiting for this to happen. It happens more often than not at Dover on these restarts, whether it's new tires, old tires, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you come off that corner. And it's the restart zone is kind of right at the edge of when the track starts to kind of flatten out a little bit for that front stretch, and it can easily upset the car. Once you get on that gas, you throttle it up just a little bit too much, and this is exactly what can happen.
Yeah, it's it's over. It's a tough track, and you're trying to gamble and take new tires, or stay out there with some older tires, and traction level changes a lot. Even you guys have maybe noticed it seems a little foggy here, obviously, because when I go back to some of them farther cameras, you can see how grayed out it is. I'm trying to keep a little bit closer cameras so everything's pretty clear, but yeah, definitely if I go up to the blimp, you can see there's some fog out there, and something that drivers don't realize is that right there affects the track, which affects the car. So probably more than people think, and it's definitely an element that not many drivers take into consideration when running some of these races. But fogginess can definitely affect your track state, so which affects the grip of the car. So depends on how you practiced, what you got for weather today, and it's probably pretty spot on. I've been to Dover a few times, so I don't know about you, Carl. It's kind of like Pennsylvania weather.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania weather today was quite nice, a little bit toasty out there, but it's certainly no kind of fog like this, and it's the weather up here. You might as well just spin a wheel and decide what's gonna be. I mean, some days it'll be 100 degrees, next day it'll be 60, and it's not exactly Florida weather where you guys just you have your scheduled rain every day, but. But certainly some fog out here at the Dover Mile. But looks like we may be all set to go here for this restart, and we're gonna get this thing back underway. Certainly, it looks like the 6 of Michael Casey is ready to get back going. He's up there now into third after that little melee that happened in front of him. But it's going to be Justin Spengler again at the front. Kevin Winker again. We've seen that 42. Almost get lapped before the comp caution, and now he finds himself on that front row, and certainly has looked like he had some pace in that 42 as well. We'll see if he's got what it takes to get it done here tonight. But it's going to be the 28 that is the control car for this restart. We'll see if he can get a good launch, and same thing with the 42 and everybody else. Gotta keep those tires under control here on the restart.
Yeah, we're going to see if these drivers can keep things going here. We're going to hop on board with Wade Enyart on the board, the number 91 here, sitting back, and Pete, number 7 on the outside, up 2 spots from the start. So doing a good spot, and this would be a good spot to kind of see a few of his competitors in front of him there on the outside. So I think he's actually in 6th. It's back a little bit, making sure that the drivers in front of him don't spin out, but pretty good start there from everybody in front of them as the 31 goes down to the inside. You'll see down on the inside, you'll see the 98 going through. There he is, popping on the left-hand screen, 15. So 98 being held up by 31 just a little bit, but 31 tags the wall. So there's something that has to be watched. It's kind of like, the new tires. Everybody's down on that inside. You see how fast they are, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, you want to... To me, of course, the faster line is on the bottom, but when you get on these restarts here, of course, it'd be nice to be on the inside and maybe get some passes done, but you wouldn't mind being on the outside just because you have a little bit more room to maneuver here. You don't feel like you're trapped on the bottom, and you've seen Enyart there how to back out of it a little bit. Winker is your leader, but you see the man that is right behind him. Michael Casey is looking for the 3-peat, but hold on to that here once again. Lap 103, we're going to have another caution here, and we'll see what brought this one out.
64.
As we'll blow it back up.
This is a
Heavy
64.
damage to the front of Paul Helms.
Yeah, I see massive damage here by the 64, but no actual incident. So we're gonna back it. We're just gonna do it old-fashioned way. Rewind. So we'll go back and see what happened at 64. Oh, a tough break there. Oh, there it is. We'll switch to this camera and see what happens. The 64 on the outside there of the 15. 15 goes low, clears them.
I think it was the 85
the
that
85 comes in. It looked good. 85 drifting up just a little bit.
Yep, into the 64, and I think gets him a little bit loose. To see it right there, tries to save it, but hard impact into the outside wall, rips the front end off. You see these front ends definitely don't like to hang on here at all. You've seen just any little kind of brush of the wall is going to rip that front end off, and really did damage to the front right as well. You see that front right was just kind of dragging along here, so going to take a fast repair if he's got one left for Paul Helms to get back in this thing.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit for that 64 to get back in the fight, as he was running up there, doing pretty well. Top going, but let's see. Let me hit live. Come on. There we go. As the 64 is back in action. Did have a fast repair. Get that thing back. Good to go here and back in the fight. He is P11. So P11, I believe, is one lap down?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. It looks like I'm one is P10 a lap down as well. Wade Anier, not sure if he's. No, looks like he is on the late lap. So yeah, still the top 10 on the lead lap here. Yep.
But we'll talk about some drivers having some real good nights here. Michael Casey up 2 spots. Zane Bierman, he is up 9 spots, sitting in P number 3. So the 5 having a fantastic run here tonight. Bradley Worley has seen some people out there rooting for the 88. Finds himself in P number 6, up 5 spots from the start. Kevin Winker in that number 42. Seen him out front there just for a little bit, but came in maybe to get some tires or whatever. Kind of fell back just a little bit to P number 7, but it looks like heading back towards the front. Matthew Jordan under 23. He's up 6 spots as well. So Matthew Jordan have a good turnaround, as he was involved earlier on one of the cautions.
Well, Bradley Worley is the only other winner here this season, winning the season opener at Daytona. Now, this, I believe, is the highest we've seen that at 88 running here tonight, up 5 spots in 6th place, as you mentioned. So maybe a little late life here for the 88. We'll see if he's got what it takes. But I definitely want to keep an eye on the guys that are right behind him, coming in here and taking some tires. There's still a good amount of racing here left to go. It's going to be 19 laps to go here at the line. So certainly some newer tires back there, not a bad thing. They got about 10 lap newer tires than everybody else in front of them. We'll see if it's going to pay off here at the end. Michael Casey, Justin Spengler at the front of this field. It's going to be Casey that is in control here on the restart. And we are racing here again at Dover. 19 to go.
Yeah, Jordan and Winker all coming in there at lap 104, get some new tires. Not a bad call, as there is 20 laps to go. You see Winker coming down.
You think he likes those new tires, Jimmy? Trying to make a move. 3 wide. Hell of a save from the 28. Still working on it. And the 88 sideways. 42 unfortunately nose it in the wall. And oh man, all that good work is all undone that quickly. The 42 goes for a bit of a ride. It looked like he had a bit of a nose inside the 15 going into turn number 3, and unfortunately, not sure if he got him or not. Maybe it was net code, but the 15 slid up and really kind of started this thing all a bit of a chain reaction starting in turn number 3. But you see right there the 88 sideways as well. The 23 again just caught in a spot where you can't do anything. A little bit into the wall there. The 21 comes in, some pretty heavy impact, and kind of surprised that didn't rip the nose off. But the 88 you see right there, then hard impact into the side of the 42, almost gets him up and over. And then 79, Smoking Joe. Well, he's smoking, that's for sure. He definitely smoked the 42.
Yeah, so definitely a tough run here at the end. But can you tell it's near the end of the race, Carl?
It's getting a little bit more racier, and we said it. We said those new tires. Keep an eye on those new tires. It looked like it was really going to pay off, and maybe just a little bit more patience for that 42, and could have had some even more positions coming up there. Because I mean, he was fast enough. He was about to look 3 wide there before everything really started taking place. But into the pits now. Pretty much everybody but the top 3, Jimmy. So now the second row is going to have some freshies. And Jason Christman looking like he may be one of those cars trying to get out here quick enough. But Justin Spengler in the pits there as well, involved in that one. So we'll see if he gets back out there all cleaned up with some freshies. As you see, the right side is up. I'm sure that left side is going to go up as well. And indeed, but out of the pits comes Christman. He is going to be the one that is going to be on that second row with Timothy Ivey here, as Michael Casey, Zane Bierman, Timothy Ivey all electing to stay out. Now, the big thing here is they need this thing to stay green. They need to be able to utilize those fresh tires. They need this thing to go all the way. But they need to kind of get a move on here. We're going to be this time by down to 15 laps to go, so it'll probably be 14 here once we get the restart. And they got the back-to-back winner here on the front, so they're trying to stop Michael Casey from going for the three-peat.
Yeah, I mean he's on a roll right now, and definitely putting his number 6 in a position to get these wins and great finishes. Found himself obviously a lap down, saved by the comp caution in order to get the lucky dog and get back around and get pitted, and then obviously coming up and he had to work back up through the field again. So found himself leading early, and then down a lap, gets his lap back from the comp caution, and then now in the battle and the fight for the lead. So gonna have his hands full though. We've seen the 5 of Zane Bierman with some speed, which will be starting alongside of him. Timothy Ivey's been up front all night in the number 15, and he's back up there again. Jason Christman in the 98 here, the Interstate Battery Machine, definitely been showing his presence all night as well. But the 21 of Wade Inyard, haven't talked about him much, but starting to poke his nose up here towards the end of the race. So we'll see if Wade can pull anything out of his hat there, as he's up 3 spots for tonight so far, up in a P number 6. But some drivers that you've seen flashes of would be Kevin Winker in the number 42, and Matthew Jordan, as many times as he's been in a pickle, has found himself towards the front as well. But looking down to the very inside of the 21, currently in P number 8.
Certainly keep an eye on the front there, as Jason Christman has made his way to the outside here, trying to get around the 15 of Timothy Ivey, but not going to happen. The 5, though, is going to. Zane Bierman going to hold on to second. They're chasing Michael Casey at the front. The 98 dives to the inside, trying to utilize those new tires to get in there. Going to get a nose inside the 15. Just not enough of a drive off the corner. Still going to be slight advantage. Just going to get to the inside here, and now maybe have a chance at a run off of turn number 4, the 15. Little bobble, a little bit into the wall, but here comes the 42. Again, peeking to go 3 wide, decides the better of it this time. 98 of Christman going to get a good rotation through the corner. He's up into P number 3. The laps are clicking by here. Casey's got a mirror full of Zane Bierman. I don't think it'll be too long. He's going to have a mirror full of Jason Christman as well. And don't count out Spengler. He's back there riding with the 42 Winker, as they're all racing down the 6 of Casey.
Yeah, try to chase that 6 down. 6 definitely has speed. He was like I said, he was leading early and has found himself back out front with all these drivers hungry, trying to keep that 6 from getting a 3-peat here at the Monster Mile. Can anybody out there stop 6 this season? But he's definitely one of the strong ones here for 191 Motorsports early on, as we're on race number 4 of I'm not sure what season they are on, but it is race number 4 of the season. Oh, and they're gonna go around.
And the 42 is going to go around, and just in time for the 98 as he makes the move on Bierman and makes it stick. as Chrisman is going to be up to second here. Not going to be that many laps, but he's got 16 lap newer tires than Michael Casey, and now he should have nobody to work with other than Casey on this restart. But you see what caused your Spengler just nudging into the back of the 42, and unfortunately Winker again looking like he's going to have a run to get up there and have a chance at this win, going to find himself looking the wrong way in that 42.
Yeah, it's not what you want especially towards the end of the race. Find yourself wrapped up into a few incidents. The 42 goes for a ride yet again. Holds his brakes though, so still maybe frustrated, but still doing the right thing, putting on a great race. Not taking out, trying to stay out of the way of his fellow league mates, competitors. So, but he's gonna get that 42 turned around and make another run at it. It's still not over yet. It is 8 laps to go. By the time they get going here, it should be about 6. And it's been a very eventful last 25 laps.
We talked about all the different things that are coming up league-wise after the holiday break, but one thing we didn't talk about is the interleague that is going to be coming up here, and that is once again the return of the CRN Cup, and that is I use the word friendly lightly. It's a friendly competition for all the leagues that CRN broadcast. So it's going to be the Core GT, it's going to be VVR, 191 Motorsports, Hold Your Brakes Academy, Core Xfinity, Casual Sim Racing League. All the leagues that CRN broadcasts are invited to put together a team of their drivers to compete against each other in a 2-race nightly special, as we're going to put that on Saturday, July 12th. There's going to be an Xfinity race and a GT3 race, both in the same night, and going to be some good friendly competition, but also a chance for all these leagues to kind of showcase what they can do, and maybe a chance for drivers in, say, this league to look at something to do on a Monday or a Tuesday, or maybe GT3 drivers a chance to say, maybe I will dip my hands into some oval stuff, and you get to see what kind of leagues are out there, and listen, I mean, at the very least, it's another night you get to be put on a broadcast here in CRN, and a chance to come up here and talk to me and Jimmy.
Right.
Well, we're going to get this thing back underway again. Michael Casey is at the front. There's going to be 6 laps to go here at the restart. Again, I know you're going to be antsy. I know you want to try and get on the throttle. You got to make sure those tires are underneath you here. This is a big restart here. It could be the last restart of the race. Casey at the front. Chrisman, 16 lap newer tires, starting in second. Bierman and Ivy on the second row. Spengler's got some new tires back there, as does Matthew Jordan. He's at 23, and he's got the Carolina colors out there. It's kind of confused me more than once here this season. But either way, it is down to the restart here. 6 laps to go. The 6 is in the lead, but can he hold off Chrisman here off the corner? Some good power down, but the 98's got to work into the wall just to get that power down. Now Bierman is going to have a run into turn number 1. Chrisman, I think, is going to have to fight pretty hard here to make sure he holds on to second place. Going to do so. Gets a great run out of turn number 2. Big impact there for the 15 end of the wall. Chrisman dives it down low on the inside of the 6.
Wow.
Not going to get the run just yet, or maybe he will, as he is side by side now at the line. Bierman trying to push the 6 Casey, as we have 5 laps to go at Dover.
5 laps to go, and the 98 finds himself out front over the 6 and the 5. The 15 of Timothy Ivy trying to work his way up front as well. 28 trying to get back up to that pole position. Not many laps to go, but plenty of hard racing to be had in the few corners that are remaining here at the Monster Mile. Jason Chrisman leads over Michael Casey and Zane Bierman.
Now the question is, does Chrisman have enough wherewithal to be able to hold on to the lead? Casey is certainly digging, wants that 3-peat, but those newer tires for Chrisman maybe paying off just in time here. Laps clicking away. 3 to go here at Dover. Chrisman in the lead. Now you got the 15 of Ivy putting the pressure here on Bierman down the backstretch. He's got a nose to the inside just barely, but Bierman's running pretty good on that high line and getting a good enough run to hold on to the spot. Casey kind of stuck in the middle there and in a good position, obviously, in second place, but he's starting to see Chrisman walk away.
Yeah, he might realize that his tires aren't just up to par here and sitting in a pretty good point spot here as they're in 3 wide right behind Timothy Ivy. Right there, it's the 23, goes for a ride down the inside, up. Ooh, the 21!
Oh!
Whoa!
This
3 laps ago in a caution. This isn't over yet.
This thing is not over. We're going to go into overtime. 2 attempts at a green-white checkered here in the series. So this thing is not just over yet for Jason Chrisman. And oh no, the 23 again involved here. The 42 gets into the side of him. Some big impact there. But I'm guessing that's not the impact that Jimmy is talking about. That is right there. Hard impact. As the 21 comes flying in there, it's Wade Enyart getting to the side of the 23. And maybe for Matthew Jordan, this is kind of the last straw here. I mean, he's certainly been involved in quite a few here. Not sure if he's got a fast repair left, but just in case, how about a little smoking Joe's in your face? There's a 79 of Foster Yates gets in there pretty hard as well, so rips that 23 to shreds. And just certainly a night that looked like it could have been really well for Matthew Jordan, but just kind of going to go up in smoke here.
Yeah, it was a heavy hit there by 21. This track's so fast, Carl, and it's. I know it's not a short track; it's a mile, but it's definitely one of those tracks that things happen so fast. They're like the incidents are super speedway-ish, I guess you want to call it. But you can see the massive damage there by the 23. Be impressed if he was able to drive that all the way back around to get back into the pits. But hopefully he has maybe one fast repair, or maybe a good pit crew down there. But it's going to be a rough one there for Matthew Jordan. Looks like he was able to get it down there, but no fast repair, so it could end up his night is going to be done for the 23. But out front, the drivers aren't done yet. They will be getting an attempt here of a green-white checkered attempt here as the 98 of Jason Chrisman has found himself out front with them a little bit newer tires over the 6 of Michael Casey. But you can't leave out Bierman. Bierman's been pressing pretty hard there on Casey, trying to get around. And Timothy Ivy, even after being in a few incidents, has found himself in the P number 4, looking to try to get on the podium here tonight. Justin Spengler obviously started on the pole and in a spot to just kind of get a good finish here tonight. So I think the 28 just, he's been very close in a lot of situations. I've
still got a chance to talk to us here at the end if he can sneak into that podium spots here. And he's got some of the newer tires up there as well, pitting on lap 119. But how about Kevin Winker? Got some fresh tires on lap 117. He's got the freshest tires in the field.
Oh, no.
Can he do anything again? He's got that car clean for what seems to be the 35th time here tonight. But can he keep it out of anybody right now? It seems like he's just a magnet when he tries to come through the field here tonight, but still got time to maybe get up there, maybe get a podium, and certainly would be a heck of an interview here tonight if we can get Winker in here. But Spengler is certainly going to be digging. He wants to really cap off this night with at least the top 3 after coming up with the pole here tonight. But can they get a good restart here one more time? Got to get the power down. Got to get it down quick, but not too quick. As out of turn number 4, they're back on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at Bristol. Looks like a pretty good start on the inside, not just from Jason Chrisman, but how about Zane Bierman to the inside of the 6 of Michael Casey? Can he get enough? It just seems like every time the 5 can get to the inside, but what happened to Jason Chrisman? Blinking out there pretty bad. That was
scared me.
Close to us losing the leader, but coming back to the line, white flag in the air. Bierman makes it past into second place. One more lap to go here at Dover, heading through turns 1 and 2. Bierman makes a heck of a charge. Not going to get to the back bumper, but he's got a good run through the corner. Can he get to the backside and maybe just use the chrome bumper here a little bit? No one is going to catch the 98 here tonight. Jason Chrisman with the win.
Oh, the 42 go for a ride.
Zane Bierman going to come home in second. Michael Casey in third. Timothy Ivey and Paul Helms for your top 5. But, man, this is exactly what a green-white checker could do for you here at Dover. What a finish.
Yeah, and I'll just go ahead and back it up as Winker was pushing this 42 as hard as he could. And I'll show you just quickly how Spangler's end of his night went, as he was obviously right behind the 42. It comes off this corner and just trying to get on it. Maybe a little nudge there by Spangler, getting the 42 a little loose. I didn't quite see, so I don't want to call that Spangler touched him at all. But 42's rear end breaking loose right there in front of the 28. 28 would really nowhere to go as that 42 snaps as he tries to save it right in front. Does like a 360.
And I'm not sure if the 28 there, Spangler was trying to figure out a way to get around him, or maybe just trying to T-bone him to help him get across the line. But either way, you see the 85 coming into your picture there too, sliding sideways. This was got certainly a bit racy here at the end for the 191 Motorsports. But I tell you what, this was a fun one here at Dover. It was certainly entertaining for sure. And I want to thank everyone out there once again for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that's here in the house to offer. We'll get our top 3 here in a second. But I also want to send a shout out to Kim Scupson Moore and One Vision EMS and Transports for their support here for the series. I mean, this was a nail biter, certainly. I mean, we knew what probably could have happened, and it did happen, I think, with Jason Crispin having the right tires at the right time. But you never know how these cautions fall. They just happen to work out pretty well for the 98.
Yeah, 98 made out here tonight with the brakes and the cautions and the right pit strategy to put him in position for that win. But he will take the win here tonight over Zane Bierman and Michael Casey for your top 3. Then back we have some pretty good finishes overall. Timothy Ivey finishing in 4th. Paul Helms in 5th. Let's see. Kevin Winker in 6th. Justin Spangler will finish in 7th. Bradley Worley's in 8th. Douglas Ivey in 9th. Dale Garner Jr. in 10th. Wade Inyard in 11th. Matthew Jordan in 12th. Scott Henderson in 13th. Foster Yates in 14th. And Richard Hartman in 15th for your 15-car field here tonight. Biggest mover of the race here tonight will be Zane Bierman in P number 2, up 10 spots from his start. And then back for Kevin Winker in the 42, up 7 spots in P number 6.
Heck of a rundown here for the 15-car field, and it looks like really only 14 out there as Richard Hartman not taking the green here tonight, but they put on one heck of a show for everyone out there. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but I think it's about time to get these drivers in here for their well-deserved interviews, and they certainly had to work for it here tonight. We're going to start off with our third place finisher, and that's going to be the 6th of Mike Casey. As, man, Mike, you did everything that you could there. You put yourself right in the right spot at the right time late. You were in the lead. I know, I'm sure you were looking back there and seeing some fresh tires that had a chance at you and maybe just waiting for the cautions to work out in the right way. But unfortunately, you come home with a 3rd place here tonight. You don't complete the 3-peat, at least this time, but we'll see what you can do the rest of the season.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it, man. P3 at Dover ain't too bad, but yeah, that very first the first green flag pit stop, I think I pitted a little too early and then came back out, and we had a caution, of course. So then I played a little bit of catch up for a few laps at the to get caught back up and get back on the lead lap. But no, it was good. Good job to Jason and Zane for getting their podiums. I mean, I didn't have anything at the end. I kind of was trying to get as much of a lead as I could at the end, and I was hoping we were going to stay green, but it was hard to keep doing the restarts and trying to fight everybody off, so it was kind of tough.
I mean, listen, at Dover, the track itself can be rough. It can be really, really tough to get around here if it's if it's something that's not your specialty. This is not the easiest track to run on. But green flag pit stops, is there any tougher pit road to get onto under green flag conditions than Dover, let alone the fact that you're pitting early and you're going to go a lap or 2 down? So, I mean, how much stress is it knowing all that coming into the pits?
Yeah, this is definitely got to be one of the toughest pit roads on the circuit that NASCAR goes to. I mean, you're doing 170 something on the front stretch, and you got to get it woed up to 35 coming to the commitment cone. So it definitely is something that I try to tell people to practice, even if it's by yourself. Go junk the tires and practice coming in on crappy tires, and try not to slide into the your pit boxes. So pit road can make or break you here. And yeah, if you pit under green and everybody else stays out, you're at least going close to 2 laps down. I mean, it's just a tough track.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for every lap that you practice out there on the track at Dover, you should probably put in about 5 times the amount of pit stop practice in here, because if this thing does go green, and you guys did have, some of you has had a green flag pit stop, you really need to know how to get down off that bank and get in there. But either way, it all worked out to a chance at the victory, and either way, another podium here, another good finish, coming here as the points leader. One of the guys right behind you, Jason Crispin, gets the win here tonight, third different winner here through 4 races. But either way, a good finish for you, good points night. So you take it into the July 4th weekend here with a little celebration next week. But either way, good start to the season for you. Congrats on the run here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And as always, thank you guys for coming in and doing the broadcast. Congrats to Jason and Zane on their podiums tonight. It was well earned, and they ran good. I thought everybody ran pretty good tonight. But shout out to Kim's Cups and More, One Vision EMS Transport. Like I said, you guys, of course, everybody in 191 Motorsports. Appreciate everybody out in YouTube land watching tonight. And shout out to my wife. I've been telling her I was going to give her a shout out. And so shout out to the woman.
Good boy.
Appreciate you. Thank you for putting up with me. So anyways, that's all I got tonight. But like I said, we appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you and appreciate the opportunity we get to put on 191 Motorsports here every Sunday night. So thank you for that. Grid race here tonight. We'll see if you can come back and maybe start a new streak at Pocono next Sunday.
Awesome. Yep. Looking forward to it.
That is the driver of the number 6, third place finisher here tonight, Mike Casey. Second place here tonight. Heck of an effort for the 5 as Zane Bierman's going to come home in second.
Hey, Zane, Jimmy, and Carl in the booth. Copy.
Yep, I got you guys.
Well, first want to say congratulations on second place finish, and 2, congratulations on being the biggest mover here tonight. Up 10 spots from the start, so definitely had your hands full here tonight at the Monster Mile. Give us a rundown on how everything went for you.
Well, it always feels good to be the hard charger. I kind of showed up late to the session. I only got to clock a couple laps in practice, and I know I talked to you last week. You mentioned I was coming off a couple hard finishes and a little bit of bad luck. And it happened again, so I really was trying to make something happen this week and get up front, and was able to do that and keep it there.
Yeah,
so I'll chalk it up to that.
It's good to see. It's good to see. Obviously, hard driving or good driving eventually pays off. You just gotta allow some of them good luck fairies to come around and bless you every now and then. Yep, he can have a good race. So, but the 5 doing what it needed to do to get done here tonight, put it all the way up in P number 2. You had the opportunity, possibly, had a chance, I guess, the opportunity to get around Chrisman. Did you have anything? The 5 have anything for the 98 here tonight?
I'm gonna be straight up. I don't think I did. He was running up front the whole first half of the race, and then fell back with that little restart incident and came all the way back. So I knew once he got around me, it was going to be hard. He's an aggressive driver too, but fast and clean, and that's all you can ask for. So he put it to my bottom with a couple laps to go, and I knew I was in a good spot to take home a good finish. And
either way,
I thought I might have had a chance at the end, but he kept it in line.
Yeah, it's always fun to see everybody kind of grouped up at the end. I know some drivers don't like, last minute cautions. They just want this thing to finish out. But obviously, when things get that close at the end, it really tenses up the broadcast for sure. And able to put on a great show, a great finish, and come away with a second place finish here tonight at one of the more difficult tracks, high speed and definitely with tire wearing track. So again, congratulations on that finish. And we wanted to say, I already said congratulations, but give you some time for any shots you might want to have here for the number 5.
Appreciate it. Yeah, well, thank you guys. I think Mike Casey, the other guys that put this stuff together, Daniel, and make it happen. I know sometimes a lot of those guys fly under the radar, but keeping this stuff organized and happening is no small feat. So we appreciate what they do to give us a good environment to race, which is sometimes hard to find.
Yeah, that it is. That's for sure. Well, again, congratulations, man, and we'll let you go celebrate and have yourself a good fourth.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 5 of Zane Bierman. First place here tonight, new winner here on the season. It's going to be the 98 of Jason Chrisman. Jason, you had a heck of a good car all race long, but you kind of found yourself back a little bit buried in the pack after the one restart. But you had the opportunity to come in, and you decided to give up some track position to get some fresh tires there on lap number 109. Do you feel like that was the move right there that won you the race here tonight?
Well, a lot of it was banking on everybody behind me coming in too. Honestly, I don't know if I could have gotten back up there if people behind me didn't come in as well. I mean, like you said, the car was fast all night. That strategy at the end there, I think that was the deciding factor between me, Mike, and Zane, because we had honestly the 3 fastest cars all night. I felt like it was going to be down to the 3 of us anyways. The 15 was really fast too. I'll give him his props. He was really quick. But it was just one of those things where I was like, would I rather lose the race staying out and people on fresher tires come by me, or would I rather come in and take that chance where I can try to climb my way through the field? But like you said, I had that mishap on the restart, and that sent me back, and I didn't think I had a snowball's chance in hell to come back up there. But thankfully, car stayed together really well, handled great all night. Felt like I could get some really good runs on people, and it just all worked out in the end there.
I feel like some more luck for you was late in the race here. Not one of the green white checkered cautions here, but one of the last cautions here. Just as you were making the pass on Zane Bierman, it seemed like you were really struggling. You can get some good drive into the corner and through the corner, but Bierman was kind of running that middle to high line for most of the race, and it was enough of a drive off the corners that you just couldn't finally complete the pass. And just as you were ahead through one of the laps there on 3 and 4, the caution flies and gives you second place.
Yeah, that definitely was a huge boost right there. I hoped and prayed that I could get around him, but whenever that caution came out at the perfect time, that really helped my chances there at the end, because, you know, you can restart 3rd, 4th, 5th, but you'll be a few cars in front of you, and those restarts were pretty sketchy tonight. We were having a huge debate during the race of restarting 1st gear, restarting 2nd gear. You could restart in 1st gear, but you would, like you saw me, I spun the tires really bad and caused a wreck.
Yep.
But a lot of people said they just stay in 2nd gear for the safety, and that's what I ended up going to at the end there. Those huge launches you see me get on the restarts early on were just because I was in 1st gear, but it bit me really hard, so I learned my lesson on that.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter if you have brand new tires, if you have used tires. The restarts here at Dover, I don't know if it's just that little transition between turn 4 and the front stretch, or what it is. Maybe the fact that front stretch has got that much banking, but yeah, that the restarts here just can get really sketchy. But you got enough of them here tonight, and you got a good enough launch here at the end to get you up there in a battle with Zane Bierman, with Mike Casey, and you come out here on top. A good points night for sure. Certainly gained a little bit of ground on Mike Casey's. You came in here 20 points behind him in a tie for second place. But leaving here and heading now to Pocono next week, certainly considered a road course oval. It's definitely a different track up there at Pocono.
That tricky triangle.
So what do you?
It's just.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, you're good. What do you think your chances of a Pocono? Do you feel like it's a track that you can compete there at too?
Honestly, I haven't ran Pocono in this Gen 6 car. I've ran it in the next gen and the Xfinity cars, and I think I'm okay there. It's not one of my favorite tracks. It's not one that I feel like I'm going to go out and have another great race like I did tonight. And I just think it's going to be who can learn the track quickest, who can figure out where you can make passes, where you can catch runs, because that's a big part of it in real life when we were in these Gen 6 cars. And I'm hoping that it kind of translates over, because if I can at least take some of my knowledge from running there in next gen and also the Xfinity cars, hopefully I can come out with another good result and maybe catch another win like I did tonight.
Well, it certainly worked out pretty nice here, and your decisions were spot on, taking the tires at the right time, making that pass on Zane Bierman at the right time. Everything paid off pretty nicely here to get yourself a first win on the season. So congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to send a shout out to or thanks to?
I just want to say, I know it sounds kind of backwards, but I just want to say thanks to Mike. He's the one that brought me onto this league. Obviously, he's the owner. He's been nothing but great. He's helped me out when I've needed some help. Also, just shout out to my best friend Xander. He watched my race tonight. He got to see me win. He sent me some texts during the race, during the cautions we call, and we talked about how the race was going. But yeah, I had an awesome time. Again, thank you guys so much for this broadcast. I feel like it just helps us, you know, a little, I don't know how to say it, but it just puts more pressure on us, but it also helps us perform better because it brings out the best in us. And you guys do an awesome job as always. Can't wait to go back and watch it.
If you ask me if Xander was a real friend of yours, he'd be out here spotting for you and actually, you know, just telling you what exactly you need to do here at the right time. But I mean, heck, listen, you did a good enough job by yourself without a spotter here making the right call. So congrats again on the win. We'll see you next weekend at Pocono, see if you can go back to back.
All right. Thank you guys very much. And I'm looking forward to it. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. That is your winner here tonight, the 98 of Jason Chrisman, getting it done. A heck of a race by everyone out here tonight. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here to CRN tonight. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays for the upcoming week. Certainly looking forward to it myself. It's one of the holidays I look forward to every single year, and certainly my son does as well. But we're going to have to wait until next Sunday at Pocono to see what kind of fireworks these 191 Motorsports drivers can bring, and that'll be our next broadcast as well as tomorrow night. Hold Your Brakes Academy is off until the 7th, so we'll have to wait for some more racing until next Sunday. Once again, thank you for tuning in. But for myself and Jimmy here for the 191 Motorsports at Dover, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.